Here at Warden Park, we're concerned about the potential for every child. So every young person, every student in the school, no matter what their background, no matter what their prior attainment, their previous experiences, by the time they come to leave, age 16, they're secure in the knowledge, capabilities and skills that they have to take their next steps on their chosen pathway. So our aim is simple. It's important that we focus on developing the whole person. Academic results are an important part of that. But not everything that's important can be measured through examinations. There's a broad range of character attributes and traits that's important that young people develop. Making sure that they've got a growth mindset, a belief that anything is possible, a curiosity and a hunger to inquire after things and seek out new opportunities for themselves. And yes, we want our young people to be successful at 16, but it's equally important to me that they're successful at 18, at 21, 25, 35 and beyond. And if they go on from here, to then become great citizens, great employees, good neighbours, great partners, great parents, then I know that we will have been a real success here at Warden Park. There's a real breadth to our curriculum here, real opportunity for young people in their learning. Digital technology is embedded, every child with an iPad, to allow them new ways to really stretch them in their learning. But whatever their interests, the arts, humanities, languages, science, technology, there's real opportunity here for young people to find the thing that they're interested in. And that's the absolute key to education. Young people finding their passion, the subjects and the areas that ignite their interest, that they want to take on in their learning. Warden Park is wonderfully located in the beautiful rural village of Cookfield, and we benefit enormously from extensive playing fields and wonderful grounds here at the school. We have state-of-the-art computer suites, extensive dance and drama studios, a wonderful modern 3G sports field, and terrific social areas where students can relax at break and lunchtimes together. And all of these facilities mean we have real opportunities for students to learn not only within curriculum time but beyond curriculum time. There's extracurricular opportunities before and after school for sport, drama, art and music. And we have a wonderful range of local and international trips and excursions that students can experience during their time at Warden Park. Of all the things we do here at Warden Park, perhaps the most important is ensuring that the pastoral care of our young people is absolutely first class, because they won't be successful unless they're happy and that they feel safe in school. And these are two absolute priorities for us. So we'll have been successful if by the time the child comes to leave at age 16, they've got a real sense of themselves, a confidence, a belief in their capabilities. They've enjoyed their time at Warden Park and they've thrived and found things that they're interested in and are ready, prepared and able to take that next step in their learning and their broader lives. I very much hope that everything that Warden Park stands for and has to offer is of interest to you and your child. And I'd be delighted if you wanted to take the opportunity to come and visit and find out more about what we have here for you and your child. And I look forward to welcoming you to Warden Park Secondary Academy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan Morris, and it's my privilege on behalf of Sussex Learning Trust, which is the academy trust of which Warden Park is a part, to the school tonight. It's wonderful to see you. It really is, after so long away from being able to see people in real time and in the flesh, etc. Anyway, I just thought I'd say a couple of words about what it means for this school to be part of an academy trust. There's a lot of information out there in the media, a lot of ideas about what it means, and actually it's much better for me just to clear it up. Essentially what it means is that this school works in partnership, currently with two other schools, Warden Park Primary and Nortons Wood Primary Academy. And some of you will be families of those schools. But we work together, those three schools, and myself and business experts, etc., to make sure that we do the very best by the children of Mid Sussex. We are a Mid-Sussex organisation, we're governed by Mid-Sussex people, and therefore we're heavily invested in the area, and that's what we do, that's what we're about. In 2024, we will be opening another primary school for Haywards Heath, up near the hospital, and again, that will just add value to what we do, our collective value, if you like, to having, rather than just the one head teacher, we have 3 or 4 who get together and support and challenge each other on a regular basis. That's what it's about, learning from for here, learning from where the children have come from, the primary curriculum, but likewise for our primary experts, obviously understanding where the children are going on to. So essentially that's what we do. There's nothing more scary or anything like that at all. We're just all in it together and we're all batting for the same team, which is Sussex Learning Trust. But just a word on here, this place, we're incredibly proud of this school as a trust because year on year, it just keeps getting better and better in terms of its outcomes, but also the way in which it looks after the children. And you'll hear quite a lot about how we spend time developing the character of each individual. And I'm going to now, it's my privilege to hand over to Dom Kenrick, the head teacher here, who is behind a lot of what I've just spoken about. And it's my privilege really to open the floor to him to talk to you about why this school must be the place for your child. Thank you very much. Dom.
Thank you very much. You're very kind, and thank you very much for giving your time, your valuable time up to come and see us this evening. If you've just arrived and this is your start for the evening, welcome. If you've already had a chance to have a tour around, you'll have had a flavour of the school and the academy here. Just want to start by the picture on the screen. It's a lovely photo, isn't it? Really nice picture. Charlie and Antonia, year 7s, now year 8s, have just moved into year 8. Calm, confident, self-assured, looking quite proud actually, I think. Smart. Exactly what we want from our young people. Lovely as they are, I'd encourage you just to look past them into the background, which is a window for me into a classroom here at Warden Park. And beyond those two, calm, orderly, purposeful, children getting on. Although we've got a photographer wandering around taking pictures, not so distracting that the young people can't get on. So there's a little window there into a classroom here at Warden Park, which I'm particularly proud of and just draw your attention to, because the right environment and the right climate is really important to us here. And I hope that you will get the chance to come and see that by coming to one of our open mornings, which start on Monday and run right through to October half term. And you can book one of those opportunities just by phoning reception here, and we can hopefully get you in and to see what it's like, the daily diet, as I would perhaps describe it as, to what's life really like when everybody here is at the academy. In thinking about what I wanted to say to you tonight, I thought an awful lot about the things that felt important to me when I sat where you're sitting as a parent. And for my sins and crimes, I've done it 6 times with my 6 children, and then on into A-levels and universities and such forth. And the things that resonated very strongly with me, I think resonate very strongly with you because parents tell me they're the things that matter to them. So I've tried to position my talk to you tonight around some of those things, which I hope, as I say, resonate strongly with how you're feeling and what you're looking for, and what you and parents have told me is important to them. Probably the most important thing that I can remember thinking was quite a sort of inside thing. Are they going to be all right? Are they going to be okay when they move on? And lots of the young people who come to Warden Park are coming from actually quite small primary schools roundabout, sometimes coming in 1s and 2s, sometimes larger numbers, but certainly significantly smaller than us here. 1,500 students. We're quite a bit bigger than an average secondary school in this country, so we're quite a big organisation in that regard. So care, guidance and support is a really important component of young people making that transition into secondary education. And if that doesn't work, then they're not going to thrive. So it has to be important. And the photo here, I think, is a good illustration of care, guidance and support. We're all quite familiar, I suppose, with the interpretation of care, guidance and support, about looking after young people, nurture when they're not perhaps feeling at their best, helping them with difficult situations as they grow up through their teenage years, those turbulent times of finding self and relationship challenges. And we're familiar with that sort of notion of care, guidance and support. But it also has to look like this photo. That's care, guidance and support in a lived daily lesson. This is Alicia with her art teacher. And care, guidance and support is about knowing the individual. It's about understanding where that individual is and where they're coming from. the things that matter to them, how they feel about things, how they feel about themselves, about their learning, and the progress that they're making. That's care, guidance, and support. And that's an individual thing. It's a personal thing. And because of the way we organise and structure our learning and the expectations we have, again, I draw your attention to not Alicia and the art teacher, but to the back of the photo where the class are getting on. In our classrooms, I expect individual conversations to be able to take place. That's the crucial thing to help children at the point of learning where they're stuck, not sure what to do, need some clarification. There has to be space for that. And that needs a climate and an environment where respectful, polite, courteous relationships go on that allow that personalised experience for young people. So feeling safe and happy is something parents say to us, a quote from a parent. I've got a few quotes here that I think illustrate some of the things that we have as priorities here. Our induction programme with year 7s, as they come from their primary schools, we haven't been able to do anything like what we've been traditionally able to do over the last couple of years. But our induction programme is fantastic. We go out to the primary schools very early on. And as I said, we look to get that individualised understanding of young people so that when they come here, we can meet them where they are and actually help them keep going in their learning rather than it be a difficult transition period. And other things that people say about us, whether that be Ofsted or parents, the one just above the photo from a parent feedback to us during the remote learning period when we've been in lockdown and we haven't been able to teach in the conventional way. But again, it's that care, guidance and support that the parent is articulating here. Our ability, even when we're at distance, to reach to the child and to meet them. And using our iPads and our internet technologies to be able to do that. So wherever they are, whether they're with us or not with us, care, guidance and support is enormously important. But care, guidance and support has got to go somewhere. It's got to help the children get somewhere. And the last quote there at the bottom, that preparation of young people for the next phase of their journey, where are they going to go beyond Warden Park, that going out into the world to be that citizen, knowledgeable, capable, confident young person. Care, guidance and support, it's really important. It matters to parents, that's what they tell me. And if it matters to parents, it matters to me, it matters. Whatever your perspective on education, it's difficult to avoid the importance of academic results and examinations. And you'll know that they are crucial as the passport for children to move into the next phase of their learning when they leave here going on in sixth form college. And then beyond that, as they move into things like apprenticeships, perhaps going on into university, lifelong learning. Academic results are really important. The results here are outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And it's really important that they are, because not only is it important in their own right, but it's an important part of young people getting that sense of validation for their efforts over their time in education. It's an enormous part of how they'll feel about them, their identity, their confidence and self-esteem. So it's a non-negotiable strength here at the Academy. It's enormously important to us. And the thing that matters really is cohorts are different. They're not all the same in terms of their general profile academically. But the thing that matters is how much progress do individuals make, how much progress do children make. We're comfortably in the top 10% of schools nationally for the amount of progress students make here. We've had a couple of difficult years without GCSE examinations around that. The process in the last 2 years around using teacher assessments to judge students' progress has been rigorous, and rightly so. And we've anchored our results, our teacher assessments, to standards back in 2019. And we are extremely confident about the outcomes young people achieve here. And it matters an awful lot. So it's always a priority here that children, whatever their capabilities, when they join, will do well. It's really important. As a head teacher, you're probably expecting me to say nice things about the Academy, and it's actually quite easy to do. There's an awful lot here it's easy to talk nicely about and to praise. My advice is to you to not trust me. Satisfy yourself that what you hear me say is true. And do that by doing your homework, your research about the school. I hope the fact that you're here is an indication that you are aware of the reputation and what Warden Park stands for and what we hope to achieve. But do your homework and test out what it is that you hear me say. External validation. These are things that Ofsted said about us when they were last here. It's a little while ago, but we're better. We are better now than those statements on the board. We are better than those statements on the board now. We have moved on immeasurably. So really important point of validation for you. So use that as a reference point for us. Ofsted come and go. They're here periodically and then they disappear again. And they're here briefly. It's important that we work with other organisations to develop our practice here. And we work with professional organisations such as the Leading Edge and the SSAT, who are big national organisations who are charged with helping schools develop practice and develop the craft of teaching such that as young people progress. And we use them to help us benchmark and for them to come and validate the standards of excellence here in the Academy. And they talk about us being in and amongst the most exceptional schools in the country, and our work using things like evidence and research to help us better prepare young people to excellent teaching as being transformational. You'll hopefully be aware of our expertise in use of iPads in teaching, our use of technology more broadly, and we are proud to be an Apple Distinguished School. We have been for 3 years. We've only just managed to redesignate. We've been through that process and have been told we've been successful just in the last 2 weeks since we got back from the summer holidays. This is a difficult thing to get. Apple as a company are enormously proud of their brand and they defend it rigorously. It's an exacting and difficult process to get through. And it's a very high bar to jump over. 535 schools in the world have jumped that bar, and we're one of them. That's not many. There's a lot of schools in the world. They're not necessarily all interested in Apple or in iPads necessarily, but there are an awful lot of schools who are interested in the ways in which technology support young people in their learning. And we're interested in that as well. And again, some of those external validations, the people we work with, that I hope will give you confidence about the things that you hear me say about the organisation and about the school. A little bit about how we've got to where we have and the high standards and excellence that we've got here. I suppose fundamentally sitting at the bottom of that is about getting some basic things right, not in an old-fashioned or fad sort of trendy sort of sense, but it's about getting some of the things right which allow children to flourish and thrive. So we're not apologetic about high standards of expectations around uniform, attendance, punctuality, kindness, courtesy, doing your best, high quality presentation in your work. All of those things matter enormously to me, and perhaps resonate back to some of those photos where I asked you to look beyond the children at the front to what goes on in the background. Some high quality basic expectations. It gives young people confidence about what they're doing and the relationships with their teachers, and it gives them space in which to work to their very best and to thrive. So getting the basics right. A great photo, me in it, which is good, and some of our lovely Year 7 students from last year. They're very tall, aren't they, some of them? Maybe it's me not so tall. Excellent teaching. What happens in the classroom, the daily diet, if you like, has got to be fantastic. The daily diet has got to be fantastic for young people to make progress. So excellent teaching, probably the most under-talked about things in schools, excellent teaching. And on the last slide, I mentioned some of that external validation about using evidence and research, and we think deeply and often about what great teaching looks like. And we're constantly refining that, constantly testing, is this the best possible way to do things? Is this the best possible use of resources? Are these the best possible things that we are saying when we articulate the things we want young people to know and to understand? And this little diagram, it may be a tad small to be able to read it here. It's on our website if you want to delve in a little bit deeper. But it's really the ingredients, the essence, the 6 components of excellent teaching here at Warden Park. And it all centres around challenge. And challenge is a personal thing. It's about challenge for the individual, and it harks back to that care, guidance and support I spoke about. Knowing the individual, where they are in their learning and meeting them there and helping them make those steps into the next steps in their learning. and the photograph with the teacher talking to the child, those individual opportunities to help the child make that next connection with their learning. So excellent teaching. And again, when you come, if you can, to those open mornings, it's the thing I would ask you to have a look at as you go around. What's the climate for learning like here? Is this somewhere where I can envisage my child doing well? So test that out. I think it's excellent. Please do come and test that. I've mentioned about the embedded use of technology here. We're not a slave to technology. The iPad is part of the pencil case here. It's an important component of the tools that young people need to be able to use to get on in their learning. It's as important as the pen and pencil, as important. But we do use it a lot, it's important. It allows us to provide young people with resources in the moment, more than perhaps we could do otherwise. It allows young people to access those resources here and at home, and it allows young people to do some things at their own pace. And it allows us, particularly important, to more personalise the journey, the learning journey for young people. They can advance and look at things, perhaps delve into something a bit deeper than the student sitting next to them because it has an interest to them. So technology is a really important part of what we do here and use. We look to develop the academy at every avenue. You will know that there isn't an awful lot of money in public services in the public sector in this country at the moment. And it's difficult to get the funds that we need to do the things that we would want to do. But we work vigorously to do that. And recently we were able to completely refurbish our science department. Please go and have a look if you haven't done that. And we will continue those endeavours to make sure that we have as an up-to-date an academy as we possibly can, working within the constraints that we unfortunately need to work with. So developing the academy, not only its infrastructure, but its capacity and its thinking and its ability to wonder and be curious about what will make us better, developing the academy. And a really central part of all that we do is about thinking about developing the character of young people. It matters a lot to me as the head, it matters a lot to our staff. We are not an exam factory. We expect the young people to do well and to get great examination results. But I want young people to develop into great older people. It matters a lot to me. It's not enough. It is not enough that they are just okay at 16. They need to be okay at 18. And I mentioned this in the video you saw, 18, 25, 35 and onwards. And the secondary years are those pivotal times in young people's lives where they find themselves, they get a sense of who they are, and they develop those characteristics that are going to run right through their lives. Really crucial time. And alongside the academic learning is this pursuit of developed character, and the way that we teach and the things that we teach and the opportunities that we put on for young people are designed to help develop that. We've started right away this evening. Our Year 7s are our tour guides. I've put them in charge. It's a powerful thing to do, to put a young person in charge. And I said to our Year 7s, you're in charge of all these prospective parents. I trust that you'll do a good job. A really powerful thing to do for them, and they're rising to the challenge. They were extraordinarily excited before you got here. I mean, they were absolutely bouncing around with excitement to do that. And it gives an indication as to how they feel after not even 2 weeks here. So that transition from small school to big school, that care, guidance and support, that nurture, how they feel about that transition as they've come back here in their droves tonight, when we sent them home at 1 o'clock and they could be sat at home doing whatever they're doing, but they're back here because it matters to them. And that's happened in a couple of weeks. So when all these things come together, the thing that I am really talking about is providing with young people the opportunity to flourish. And I mentioned it on the video and I mention it again now. When I sat where you were sat, I had an idea in my mind about what my children were good at and what they were going to become. Blimey, I was wrong. I thought I knew what they were going to be interested in. When did my daughter become interested in criminology as a degree? Didn't get that from me. I didn't know one of my children was going to be destined for a career in hospitality. One a social worker. And what secondary education has got to do, it's got to give young people the space and the scope and the experience to flourish. They've got to find their passion, the thing that's going to ignite their interest in lives. And because we're a big school, it's relatively easy for us to do that because we've got a lot of subjects. We've got over 20 GCSEs for them to choose. So the opportunities for young people to find the thing that is the thing that makes them tick. And the important thing about the secondary years is they may not have found that yet. They may not know that business studies or child development is going to be their most favourite subject. They might have ambitions to travel the world, so learning a foreign language might be important about that. But sitting alongside that world traveller is the confidence to go and do it, to step out of your culture and go somewhere else in the world and still be able to thrive and flourish. So the photos on the screen are just some of our children working out if this is the thing for me. And that will be the opportunities for your children if they come here. And it matters a lot that they flourish. It matters a lot to me personally, and therefore it matters a lot to everything that we do here in the Academy. If you've just arrived, and that may be the case, and you're looking for one of our tours with our excited Year 7s, when you leave in a moment, if you head out this way and then go round to the right and round the building just over there that I'm pointing to, that will take you to main reception where you can pick up a tour with one of our Year 7 students. If this is the end of your journey now, you've had some time in and around the Academy, can I just remind you about the open mornings, phone reception, and try and book yourself in, test out some of the things you've heard me say tonight, and come and see what the daily diet is like here. The one thing I imagine it might do to you is make you want to go back and do it again. A couple of parents have said that to me tonight. I wouldn't do the teenage years again, but I think I'd have another go at some of the things I didn't do quite so well. And I hope that's the experience you're thinking about yourselves as you go. Thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate your time.